There are so many wonderful things to eat here in Japan. And as someone who grew up in Hawaii, I was exposed to a lot of those Japanese foods just because of the influence Japan has had on Hawaii's food. But I found that the food that connects my Japanese heritage with my Hawaii upbringing is a very unassuming dish called tamago rice. It's super simple. It's basically rice, egg, and shoyu. And if you grew up in Hawaii, specifically a Japanese family in Hawaii, maybe you've had this too. So I want to talk about why I like tamago rice so much, some of the stories and memories that I have of this traditionally Japanese food. And when I'm talking traditionally Japanese, I'm talking like Japanese food, not just Japanese Hawaii food. Because it's a food I learned to love in Hawaii, but one that I'm really excited to eat in Japan. Hey bud, you okay? Yeah, how you doing, bud? And I think what's so special about this food to me is this is what my grandma used to make when we were young kids. Just hot rice, egg, and shoyu. And I remember she especially would take time to remove all the little tiny eggshells and also that little white stringy part that you see sometimes in the egg, which I later learned is called the kaleza. And over the years, I've had so many memories of eating tamago rice. But we actually weren't allowed to eat tamago rice at home because my mom was worried about the raw eggs. And even when I told my mom I was eating tamago rice, now here in Japan as an adult, she still had concerns, but that's just my mom. But don't worry, the eggs are fresh here, so no need to worry. I'm putting you down now so I can eat. Is that okay? Okay. And despite my mom's lack of approval, I continued to eat tamago rice well into my adult years in college and also post-grad. I mean, it was my go-to meal when I needed something really fast and I was super hungry. I just ate tamago rice. I remember when I was on the mainland in Oregon, after work, I would eat a bowl of tamago rice because I was super hungry after one of my several jobs. And I know it probably wasn't the healthiest meal back then, but it was quick and easy. And when you're cooking for one person, this is the way to go. And even when I moved back to Hawaii and I started living on my own, this was my meal to start the weekend. On Friday after work, just make some rice, have some tamago rice, and watch a movie. You need me, bud? Okay. But then there was just one time that I ate tamago rice in Hawaii and I got really sick. My brother was staying with me at the time and I had to drop him off at work and then come back and then I would go to work. But this one time I ate tamago rice and I started getting these really bad stomach cramps, really bad stomach cramps. I couldn't move, I couldn't walk, and I definitely could not drive, but I had to get him to work. I was driving from town to the university area where he worked, and I was going on King Street, and I remember thinking, driving on King Street, I was like, I don't think I can make it. So I rushed on King Street to drop him off, and I rushed all the way back home, and I was like, oh my gosh, I feel horrible. And that was the last time I ate tamago rice in Hawaii. When you got kids, you gotta eat fast. Done. Okay, bud, let me get you. Okay, here I come. Now, I'll admit that I'm not really a foodie person. I mean, we're here in Japan and we're definitely gonna be eating a lot of great foods while we're here. But when it comes to food, I'm not particularly one to overshare that. Because the food that I like, it's probably not Instagram, social media, sharing worthy. The reason why I like the food is because I like it. And when I like the food, I like to go back and eat it again and again. I'm often content with the dishes that I actually like. And I guess I'm just not very food curious. And I found that the food that I enjoy the most often has memories attached to it. Memories that I think back fondly of. And to me, that's an important part of the eating experience. It's kind of like that scene in Ratatouille where the food critic tries that dish and his mind is instantly filled with memories of childhood. And that's how it is for me for the many foods that I enjoy. And I'm glad that tamago rice is one of those foods for me. There are many foods to try and eat in Japan. They're all so wonderful, but when I eat tamago rice here, it brings back all these wonderful memories that I had of my grandma and growing up in Hawaii. And I'm just so glad that I don't have to worry about getting sick. So thanks for watching and aloha.
Hello.